Hey guys, so it looks like we're already seeing our first updates for the Model 3 Highlands, and this is all happening within the week, if not days, of the very first deliveries happening. And as we all know by now, Tesla does not go for the mid-life cycle refreshes. They just update their parts, refresh their vehicles as soon as the upgrades are available. This is all great and dandy. However, there are those of us that just picked up our Model 3s or whatever other Tesla there is right now, and just about a day after, their vehicle gets updated and we are left with something that is now aging. Now, if you guys missed out my last video, go check that out because Tesla has already upgraded on the interior of the Model 3 Highlands as soon as they were delivered. There are now renderings of an upgraded sports interior of the Model 3 Highland, and this is going to come standard on the ludicrous Model 3, and then it's going to be an optional pick on the rest of the trims. This in itself is huge because it's the very first time in history that Tesla is adding additional options for us as customers to pick in the design studio. Other than the option to pick between white and black, now there is additional option to pick between the different types of seats and interior. But on top of that, we do have some additional things here that is going to be user customizable, that's going to be available on the design studio for you guys to choose from. So just about a day ago, it was discovered that we do have the new additional option of the sport seats, but now we also do have an additional option of RGB ambient lighting. Now at this point, we're very clear that we do have RGB lighting inside of the Highlands, inside of the Cybertruck, the Model Ys, and it's going to make its way onto the Model S's and X's as well. But there is something very different for the Model 3 Highland here that we're going to discuss. It is now going to come in two different flavors, so you can go into the design studio when it's available and pick between both of them. The first one is going to be the RGB lighting that you see in the Model 3 Highlands right now. There is nothing different than that. This one is going to be the one that wraps around the entire dashboard up front and that make its way all the way around the front doors and then to the rear doors as well. On top of this, it's going to come with the typical premium interior lighting, which is the footwell and the lighting around the door pockets. This is going to make a fantastic interior ambience, and whatever color you decide to pick, it's still going to look really premium. But now there is an additional second option for you to pick from. I wouldn't say this is an upgrade in any way. It's more of an option for you to pick if you are not into ambient lighting at all. Realistically, you're still going to get an amazing interior, but Tesla has decided that they are going to stick purely with the dash RGB only. That means that you won't be getting the wraparound interior LED strips from the front to back, and you'll only be getting the premium interior lighting, which is the footwell and the door pockets, as well as the dash. Now, like I said, for those of you that aren't really into interior lighting, you can still always just turn it off, but this one is an additional option that you can pick from, which it will just illuminate the front dash piece, and then you still get the rest of the premium interior feel. I would say that this is really great on Tesla because it allows us to pick what we want and put our money towards something else. If I wasn't into interior ambience lighting, I personally would take the additional money and throw it into new tires, new rims, or something along that line. But in terms of pricing, even though there isn't any confirmation right now, I would say that the premium between them is going to be about $1,000. So think right now what that $1,000 is able to get you outside of those LED strips. To me personally, I love the wraparound feel, but somebody like my wife would say that the front dash is enough and she'd rather keep the $1,000. For a real life feel of it, it's going to look exactly as it does on the Model Y upgraded right now. So if you guys are interested in seeing what the front dash is alone, go to an upgraded Model Y somewhere in China and you'll get an understanding of what it's like without the wraparound. Now, one thing that I find really awesome with this year and with the upgraded Highlands and the Model Y is the fact that even if you pick the standard range model, you are still going to get some form of LED. Tesla is no longer cheaping out, unlike the current Model 3s, where if you don't buy the long range version, you're not going to have any of the lights activated through software. This time around, it's going to come as a base feature and you are able to select it if you want the more premium one versus the one that is currently coming with the vehicle. Oh yeah, and on a side note, for those reservation holders of the Cybertruck, you are going to be able to get the same selection based off of ambient lighting preferences, whereas the Model S's and X's is only going to get the top end premium version. So yeah guys, to wrap everything up here, it's pretty crazy that Tesla is already starting to update the Model 3 Highlands just days after it being delivered. But honestly, this is just how Tesla works, and they've always done it this way. You've seen it with the Plaid's Model S and X's with their rear screen and the tilting screen up front, and there's so many other upgrades that Tesla decides to do only a few days, if not weeks, after the fact. Now there's going to be a lot of updates coming to these vehicles, and once the Model Y Juniper is out, it's going to get every single feature that we've mentioned here, so we're very excited for that. I'm going to keep an eye out for the Model 3 Juniper updates and releases, so make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and that bell notification if you haven't already done so. Oh yeah, and if you have a moment, head over to X or Twitter and hit me up at HeyJohnE. That's where you're going to be getting the latest updates, latest news, things that I won't be able to share on YouTube. Anyways, this should wrap it up for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is John once again. Peace out.